It is Monday, December the 12th, 2022. Good morning. I'm Pearson Bowen. This is the CBC Morning Report. The recent incidences of RSV and influenza have been very high locally and prompting many to go for emergency care. This follows the large numbers of patients in the United States who have been hospitalized with the virus. Now, managing these symptoms has been stressful for many, and to help explain the surge is Dr. Makiba Brooks, a director at Urgent Care. Dr. Brooks, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
Thank you for joining us.
So,
Now, we've grown up hearing about the common cold and the flu, and now we're hearing about RSV. What is that, and why is it of great concern at this time?
so RSV is respiratory syncytial virus. It's just one of several viruses that cause respiratory illnesses. Recently in the US and the UK, as you've correctly noted, they've been battling with a surge of influenza and respiratory viral infections, along with an increase in COVID-19 cases. And here in Barbados, many of you may have been affected by or known somebody who's been affected by a respiratory or flu-like illness within the last couple of weeks or months. It's usually associated with fever, chills, body aches, muscle pains, headaches, cough, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, and fatigue. And I'm sure by giving the list of symptoms you were saying, sounds a lot like COVID-19, and you are correct. So yes, it's difficult to distinguish between a flu-like illness, the symptoms that I mentioned above, and COVID-19, and you actually need a test to say which one it is.
When one experiences any of those symptoms that or multiple incidences that you've just explained, what should one do?
So, well, most people who get the flu or similar viral illnesses can manage their symptoms at home. So, you use fever reducing and painkiller medication like paracetamol. We want to caution persons all the time to avoid aspirin and non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen and diclofenac. Paracetamol, also known by brand names like Tylenol, Panadol, Calpol, Aramol, is the safest to use because of complications that could occur with some of the other medications that I've mentioned. Antihistamines, decongestants are also very helpful, and of course, don't forget your menthol inhalation.
Well, with any virus, it is no respecter of age. And so, are there certain sections of our population that are perhaps more vulnerable at this time?
Most definitely. So always the elderly, we always have to be careful. Those persons who have chronic infections or chronic diseases, especially those which are immunosuppressive. So persons who have HIV or AIDS, persons who have cancer, persons who have diabetes, they are more vulnerable, and also the very young. So we have both on both ends of the spectrum, the very old and the very young. And by very young, we mean 0 to 4 years of age.
And through the practice of COVID-19, we now understand the urgency in getting a test or getting it diagnosed and getting treatment. What's the time frame? Having experienced symptoms, how urgently should we really come to an emergency situation?
Well, we usually say to watch for the symptoms. So, as I said, most of the symptoms, viruses are usually self-limited diseases, which means they come and they go by themselves. You don't actually need to do anything or initiate any treatment for it to go away. Of course, the treatment helps you feel better, which is always a plus. Some warning signs, though, that you should look out for, that you should perhaps seek medical attention. So I would say persons who have chest pain, if you're experiencing chest pain, difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, dizziness, confusion, severe muscle pains, or weakness. And in children in particular, you may actually notice signs of dehydration, like babies not passing urine, so you realize that you're not changing nappies as often as you would, or they actually have a visible dry mouth, or they're crying without tears. And those are signs that you should seek medical attention. After a thorough medical examination, the doctor will then determine what your immediate needs are. So it might just be IV fluids or whether or not your condition requires hospitalization. And they would then take those necessary steps.
Naturally, because some of us live at distances sometimes away from the accident and emergency department, getting to medical attention is not always easy. What recommendations would you want to give?
Yeah, so I am a specialist emergency physician, and having worked in the accident and emergency department for over 10 years, I could tell you that Christmas is an extremely busy time in the department. So the last thing the doctors and nurses really need is persons with non-critical issues like just feeling stuffy or, a little bit of a headache coming to the emergency room. So please, please, we always encourage people, try to take attention to your GP, your polyclinic, rather than going to the accident emergency. And right now, Urgent Care Barbados, we have just opened a conveniently located urgent care center right in Borders Hall on Highway 5, just about 5 minutes away from four of the five most populous parishes in Barbados, namely St. Philip, Christchurch, St. George, and St. Michael. And they're under one roof. You can access a modern walk-in urgent care center with point-of-care laboratory services, a state-of-the-art digital imaging suite with ultrasound, X-ray, and CAT scan capabilities, and a multi-specialty center plus a premier dental clinic. So there are options outside of Bridgetown if you live far.
Yes. So folks, as you pay attention to the different experiences in the flu-like symptoms, we want you to seek urgent medical care should it be RSV. You wouldn't be able to diagnose it yourself, but certainly there are people who can, and Urgent Care Barbados can help you do so. Dr. Mornin Barbados, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really hope that we all manage this change very effectively. Thank you.
Thank you too.
You're very welcome. World officials experienced protests at COP15 and an entire city reportedly destroyed by Ukraine in Russia.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to Mornin Barbados.
Hundreds of people have been braving sub-zero temperatures to march the streets of Montreal, the host city of this year's UN Biodiversity Summit, demanding a strong New Deal to protect nature worldwide. Activists contend the COP15 summit could fail to meet the urgency of the issue, with about 1 million plant, insect and other animal species now threatened with extinction. Delegates from 193 countries at the summit are considering 24 targets, including pollution cuts and protecting 30% of the world's land and sea by 2030.
Demonstrations are taking place during the UN's COP15 Biodiversity Conference. Organisers of the march say lawmakers need to tackle the world's biodiversity crisis. Delegates at COP15 are aiming to reach a new agreement to replace the one signed in 2010, which did not fully meet any of its targets. Well, it comes after a report revealed the devastating impact human activity is having on marine species across the globe. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature has put some populations of the plant-eating dugong on its red list for the risk of extinction. Its numbers have dwindled in East Africa and New Caledonia, with only several hundred now left. Pillar corals have been listed as critically endangered, shrinking by 80% since 1990. One of the most urgent threats is stony coral tissue loss disease, which is infecting up to 100 meters of reef every day. And nearly half of the world's abalone species are at risk of disappearing. They're suffering from over-harvesting and poaching, as well as climate change, disease and pollution. So Sonia Pena Moreno is the director of the International Policy Centre at the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. I'm pleased to say that she joins us by Zoom from Montreal. You're an active participant. You're in the room where negotiations are taking place. Are you feeling optimistic that an agreement can eventually be reached in at least attempting to reverse the massive loss in biodiversity?
Yeah, you can be hopeful that by the end of this COP on the 19th of December, we will get an agreement that is good enough, let's say, to get us to the next level and trigger galvanized action needed to conserve and protect ecosystems, to conserve our species. As you were addressing just now, the loss of species is increasing by the minute. So I'm hopeful. Yesterday we had halfway through stocktake plenary to see where we are in the negotiations. Even if at the very beginning of this conference of the parties, the mood was one that was not really optimistic. There was hardly any progress made on the 3 days of negotiations of the so-called open-ended working group that was the body that was negotiating this agreement before it got to the COP. Now we see that some progress has been made. Several decisions were adopted already yesterday related to the indigenous peoples and local communities, for instance, traditional knowledge, nature and culture, scientific and technical evidence, and other issues related to the protocols that are part of this Convention on Biological Diversity.
Russian attacks have turned the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut into burnt ruins, while Ukraine's military has reported missile, rocket and drone attacks in multiple parts of the country that have killed civilians and destroyed critical infrastructure.
Bakhmut was home to 72,000 people and became a main military target for Moscow in August. It's the only major area of the front line where Russian forces are still trying to advance. Rory Challenge has more on the fighting in Bakhmut from the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv.
The fighting in Bakhmut has been described to me by some of the people involved in it as reminiscent of Stalingrad, like some of the 20th century's worst attritional bloodbaths, but happening in this country and right now. Despite months of intense combat, Ukrainian forces do still hold on to Bakhmut, and quite why Russia is willing to sacrifice so many men to take what is a relatively strategically unimportant city has many observers perplexed. In the southern city of Odessa, the situation is improving for 1.5 million people who are plunged into darkness by Russian drone strikes. And Ukraine is hitting back, probably using HIMARS, that precision rocket system given to it by its Western allies. It's been targeting Russian bases and barracks in occupied territory, Melitopol being particularly hard hit.
Well, let's tell you what's coming up on Morning Barbados when you join me at 6:30 this morning. When you know your worth, everything changes. Who said that? Well, the person behind those words will join us this morning as we take a look at her life, her passion, her mission, and why she's so passionate about ending gender-based violence. No Hunger Holidays is an initiative of We Care and the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness. Kimar Safri will join us this morning to talk more about that initiative. And the founder of the Caribbean International Film Festival joins us too to talk more about the exposure of Caribbean content in the United Kingdom and how Barbadians can benefit from that exposure. That and a whole lot more straight ahead at 6:30 on Morning Barbados. This is the CBC Morning Report. We're right back after this.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
The Barbados Police Service says it has been discussing with authorities its response to traffic accidents. The issue has been raised by Deputy Commissioner Erwin Boyce. Mr. Boyce was speaking at the launch of two books, Keeping Barbados Safe, a Children's Highway Code, written by former Senior Police Officer Leon Blades, and Avoiding Collisions in Barbados, jointly written by Mr. Blades and Mark Corbin. Deputy Commissioner Boyce says for 2022 they've recorded about 6,086 incidents with 8 fatalities.
You know, within the contents of injury accident, not injury accident, accident without injury, there's much discussion between ourselves, the ministry, and our principals in relation to how do we treat the accidents, because basically accidents consume a lot of police time and create a lot of congestion on the road, and because we are not everywhere at every time, we do have some challenges in meeting our service standard of 30 minutes to get to an accident. Sometimes it takes 2 hours or 3 hours to get to an accident.
The continued transformation of the tourism industry in both the public and private sectors is key as Barbados seeks to remain a competitive destination. Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley reiterated that point during her address at the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association's recent 70th Anniversary Awards. Pointing out the entity has evolved over the last decades, she underscored the importance of changes for the island's main sector.
We have before us a paper now to look at the transformation of the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. as a public-private sector body. The Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association is critical to that conversation. Similarly, we've already said that Barbados does not have enough greenfield sites for us to be able to build out the sector into the 21st century and to ensure that it can continue to pay our bills in a credible way. That will mean that we need to discuss how best we can renew our product, how we can ensure that in renewing our product, as we did with the BEST program, that we can green it, that we can have sufficient digitization, that we can train our workers to be the best that they can be, and indeed, that we can have the synergies with manufacturing, agriculture, and of course, culture.
Noting the difficulties of the last 2 years for the sector, Ms. Motley says cooperation is critical as the country seeks to return to and surpass pre-pandemic performances.
The last few years have been the most challenging. But yes, my friends, we have survived. And while we're not quite back where we want to be, we are on the way there. And I have every confidence that if we continue to work together, hand in hand, that we can set ourselves the objectives to ensure that we surpass where we were and continue to move to higher heights. Why? Because tourism is our business.
There are now 13 days to Christmas, and throughout the city of Bridgetown is beginning to look a lot like that time of year as several stores readjust their opening hours. From those who spoke with us, store owners are very optimistic the early trickle of customers will swell into a major flow over the next 2 weeks. Yesterday, some areas like Swan Street were busy with shoppers, while others had just a few. Some of the store owners and managers say they are trying to capitalize on all of the available weekends ahead of the Christmas day, which this year also falls on a Sunday. The owner and managing director of No. 1 Beauty Supplies and Bargain Warehouse says their Sunday openings started from the first weekend of the month.
So far, so good. It's not like every year, you know, after COVID, but we're hoping for the best. I mean, for the convenience of the customer, we open now, that's, as I tell you, that's the second Sunday, and start picking up and people, you know, shopping, you know. So make it more convenient for the people because they're not working, so they can buy for the Christmas trees, decoration, and household.
At the Impact Boutique in Swan Street, Dion Linton says they are expecting to see many more customers this week.
Well, they're not as busy as before, but we try our best in terms of when the customer come in to grasp them and see what they're looking for to make sure that they're satisfied.
At Bridgetown Duty Free, store operations manager for the Broad Street branch, Stacey Wharton, says they've seen a noticeable increase in the number of customers.
Last week would have been our first Sunday, and it was relatively quiet. Most traffic was on the top floor where persons were purchasing in linens and housewares to fix up the homes for Christmas. This Sunday we're seeing a little bit more traffic, and we're actually having persons on each floor. Perfumery on the first floor where we have the shoes and the menswear, and again on the top floor with linens and housewares and the pages.
Meanwhile, customers say they are finding some odd bargains already.
Well, if you like it, you get it. That's how it's go. If I like it, I buy it.
It's been going wonderful. Thank you so much.
You find that things are expensive, or you finding bargains? How is it going?
I'm finding bargains because I know how to find a bargain.
The H5N1 flu strain in Peru and Ecuador is impacting those economies negatively. Officials in those countries have been forced to cull thousands of birds, which will affect their agricultural industries.
A 90-day national health emergency in Peru and Ecuador as migratory birds from North America bring with them the highly contagious avian or bird flu. They've been infecting wild birds on their path towards the southern continent. The threat became clear after birds were found dead along Peru's northern coast. At least 13,000 of them, say environmental authorities, mostly pelicans. The outbreak reached a poultry farm in northern Lima, where Peru's Agricultural Health Service says nearly 37,000 birds were slaughtered this week to control the spread. But in Ecuador, it was much worse. The government says at least 180,000 birds will have to be culled to protect the poultry sector, which generates 23% of Ecuador's agricultural GDP.
This outbreak is contained. All protocols are being applied so that it does not spread. In the 5-kilometer buffer zone, there are no more contaminated farms.
Commercial producers in both countries say they have taken strict measures to secure their farm perimeters. Peru's government has banned live bird markets. The industry accounts for 2% of its GDP, and it's the most consumed protein among low-income Peruvians.
The worst thing that can happen is that this spreads to commercial farms. If chickens and hens die, chicken prices will skyrocket, and it will no longer be a health but a famine issue.
Health officials say the H5N1 avian flu strain found in Peru could infect humans through close contact.
Health officials say the transmission of this virus among humans is very rare, but they're worried because the summer season here is about to begin, and they're urging people who are already coming to the beach to stay away from any dead birds.
Concerned neighbors at Punta Hermosa Beach, south of Lima, say the stench of dead birds is too close.
We've called different entities to come and clean up. They came one day and took some dead birds and never came back. People come and try and see the birds, and we want to prevent this from happening too.
The transformation of Jamaica's education system continues as the Education Ministry is implementing the recommendations of the Orlando Patterson report submitted in 2021. PBCJ reports on the Education Minister's update to the public.
So the very first recommendation is that in future years, all secondary schools be evaluated and ranked using the value-added procedure, complementing the traditional evaluation of the National Education Inspectorate. And if you recall, the National Education Inspectorate started many years ago, and it has been diligently producing evaluation of our schools.
Minister Williams says the recommendations for the licensing of teachers is at an advanced stage.
Another recommendation is that there should be an education philosophy.
The Ministry of Education has spent some time deliberating, drafting and redrafting, and at this point we do have a proposed education philosophy.
After 34 years since the tragedy, a Libyan man suspected of making the bomb that destroyed Pan Am Flight 103 over the Scottish town of Lockerbie in 1988 is in U.S. custody.
Clearly, he'll have to have a defense attorney appointed, and then it will be a case of the United States laying out the evidence that they have against him. But over the last 30 years, 38 years, in fact, there has been a lot of work done by a lot of people who believe that the bombing doesn't point to the Libyans, that the bomb was actually placed at Heathrow rather than in Germany, where the flight originated, that it wasn't built in Malta, that the Libyans had no impact on this at all. All of these things will be discussed in open court. But please bear in mind, one very senior law lecturer in the United Kingdom believed that the conviction of Abdel Basit al-Megrahi on the fact that he was involved in the bombing was one of the most grievous miscarriages of justice in the Scottish system in more than 100 years. And the UN observer at that trial in The Hague also expressed their concerns at the conviction. The US may believe they have a firm case, but there is a lot of evidence that the defense can pull on.
Okay, thank you so much, Alan Fisher, for that update from Washington, D.C. And just to pick up on what Alan was saying, that Pan Am Flight 103 took off from London. It was bound for New York on December 21, 1988. It exploded over Lockerbie 38 minutes later. All 259 people on board and 11 on the ground were killed. So 3 years later, Libyans Abdel Basit Ali Mohammed al-Megrahi and Al-Amin Khalifa Fihma were indicted for that bombing.
In sports, the Windies fell to their biggest ever margin of defeat to Australia when they were soundly beaten in the second test yesterday at the Adelaide Oval. Mitchell Starc, Michael Nasser and Scott Boland bagged 3 wickets each as Australia rattled the Windies, batting in the second innings, bowling them out for just 77 in the morning session on day 4 at Adelaide. In the process, the hosts secured a 419-run victory. After resuming on day 4 on 38 for 4, chasing 497 for victory, the Windies were dismissed in quick light time under the lights. Here are some of the highlights.
Nice shot.
Well, let's take a look at forecast conditions as recorded earlier at the Met Office of the Grant Tilly Adams International Airport. What's in the forecast for today at the moment? 23 degrees Celsius under fair conditions. The winds are coming from the north-northwest at 11 kilometers an hour. Heading to the beach today, expect a low tide around 9 minutes to midnight. We had a high tide already, another scheduled for just about 8 minutes to 6 this evening. Seas are moderate to rough in open water with northerly swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and increasing. Small craft operators and seabathers exercise caution, especially on western coasts. Barbados today expect a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few brief scattered light showers in the afternoon. Cloudy with periods and a few brief scattered light to moderate showers tonight. A look at some forecast conditions for some international cities. And that's it for today's edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning, everybody, indeed, and welcome to Monday, December the 12th, 2022. How many days are left until Christmas Day? 13 more shopping days for those of you who are busy out and about today. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you here, there, and like I said, everywhere. Thank you for joining me under the Christmas tree. That's exactly where we shall be until the big day comes around indeed. Now, this morning, coming up today, we'll continue to update you on what's been happening with the Eco Drive. That's right, eco-active young people Ashley, Lashley and Spinney have been moving across the island engaging with our young people, and certainly want to hear what's been going on. Today also we give you an opportunity to unscramble some holiday words. We'll give some one of you a call today because you are a winner. And what are you going to give me for Christmas? Our promotion here at the CBC. Also today we meet the founder of the Caribbean International Film Festival. This is a big festival in the UK and our work can feature in that festival. But what's the very latest? Our lady will join us in just a little while today. No Hunger Holidays, an initiative of We Care and the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness. I can't wait to hear how that's been going and how we can all be a part of this drive to end hunger indeed. But let's get started this morning by turning our attention to when you know your worth, everything changes. I just love that phrase to start with. The woman behind those words is Minister Wendy Ellis, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Calabash Productions. Good morning to you, Wendy.
Hi, pleasant good morning. It's Wendy Lewis.
Wendy Lewis, good to hear from you. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I'm really well. How is Barbados doing?
Just like Trinidad. Beautifully, indeed. I love your words. When you know your worth, everything changes. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot because one of the things that I recognize, we're stepping out of the 16 days of activism, which would have ended on the 10th of December. And I recognize that gender-based violence has been on the rise for quite some time. And whilst we're advocating and we're creating awareness, it wasn't enough. So I decided that I needed to get to the root of the matter. And as the district manager and chair and regional president for Caribbean Women Honors and Empowerment, which is a global NGO that I lead in Trinidad, I attended an event and I started speaking to women openly about why do they accept some of the things that they do accept, whether willingly or unwillingly. And I recognized that a lot of women didn't understand their giftings. They didn't understand that their gifts can make room for them. A lot of them sat still and held fast to the rule that, as a woman, you're supposed to accept certain things based on religious beliefs, based on spiritual beliefs, based on societal expectations, based on generational curses and so many other things. And I realized that they make decisions, Mr. Pearson, based on emotions. But when you know your worth, you know who you are, you know who God has called you to be, there are treatments and ills that you will no longer accept. And it's from then I created my radio program called A Woman's Worth.
Now, to find one's worth, calls for a lot of work. It calls for a lot of self-discovery. And sometimes you can be confused because the label you attach to yourself could be the label imposed by someone else. But you're saying to know one's worth, that means that we have to sometimes stare ourselves blankly into the mirror and say, you know what, I don't like what I see. Here's how I can change it. How does one do so that one is honest with oneself?
First of all, you have to recognize who you are and who you've been called to be. And if you know that you're a queen, you're a woman of excellence, you're a woman of class, you are a woman of God, you know, you are called to something. Your purpose is what defines you. And when you leave the face of this earth, you will want to leave a legacy. When you understand that about you, everything changes. So it starts in the mind. Gender-based violence doesn't start physically. It never starts physically. There's always a sign. Perpetrators are manipulators. Perpetrators sit down, they plan, they orchestrate. And sometimes they do these things based on generational curses as well. So your father used to drink and your father was abusive. Your mother used to drink, your mother was abusive. So you grew up around abuse and you believe that that's the way you should behave. Then we have different instances where the church, and I'm saying this without apology, the church is responsible for some of the behavioral patterns that victims, whether male or female, but in this case women, accept. There's a misconception about submission. Submission doesn't mean that I have to accept physical, mental, emotional, financial, spiritual, or religious abuse, because that's what it's boiled down to. But when you wake up in the morning and you can look in the mirror and realize that you're beautiful, you deserve better, you are going to get better, and then you start to ask yourself some hard questions. Because one of the things we do is we do the blame game. If you're a victim of abuse, the easiest thing to do is to blame your perpetrator. Now, I'm not justifying gender-based violence in any form or fashion. It should be eradicated globally once and for all, as far as I am concerned. But if you accept emotional abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse, spiritual abuse, physical abuse is next. Physical abuse is right around the corner. Perpetrators have their own issues, but you have to focus on you. You cannot love anyone else unless you love you. Because what are you loving with? You cannot love someone broken, battered and bruised. You have to then look after you. So once you do that, you're able to say, you know what? We needed to have a conversation initially. A lot of women are entering relationships without communication. And that is something that I'm very passionate about. There are things we should be discussing on the dating table. There are questions we should be asking. There is research that should be conducted. But we get caught up in the he's cute, I'm cute, you look cute, I look cute, like your nails, like your hair. And then before you know it, the sexual side of things is happening. And you end up in a relationship with someone that you never knew. Because you did not take the time to ask the right questions and put a pause and have the right people. Your support is important as well.
Yeah. You know, there's a statement I use often: be good to yourself. No one else has the power to make you happy. That, I think, ties into what you've just been talking about. But with every change, it has to be sustainable in order for it to take root and become a habit. What strategies do you think the women who today want to make that change and who will do some of the things you've said, which is to say, hey, I have worth, I have value, but then there's a tomorrow. How do I face tomorrow and the next tomorrow and the next so that I become better and stronger? What advice would you give to them to build that habit?
Commitment. You have to stay committed to the cause. It's not an overnight thing. It's a journey. And you have to take it one day at a time. You won't attend a seminar today and by tomorrow you're free. You have to be consistent, be committed, stay in prayer. I am someone who always speaks about kingdom beliefs. I'm not religious, but I really believe that when you put everything in God's hands, He is the only person you can trust 100%. Whether you love, like, rather, and prefer, that's the only person whose love is guaranteed to never change. Stay committed. Continue reading. Continue researching. Speaking to the right person is key. So discernment is a powerful tool, because you could be speaking to someone who doesn't believe that you deserve what you're after.
Yes.
You could be
Yes.
speaking to someone who likes the idea of being abused. I've seen a movie, I've heard people speak about, if he doesn't hit me, he doesn't love me. Where on earth did that come from?
So
So
true.
that's not the type of person you want to be speaking to.
There was something you just said there, you know, you said turn to God, talk to God. You know, everyone needs a friend. And sometimes the air
Yes.
to which we turn is not necessarily the air that helps us fly, becomes better.
Correct.
And you're saying to build that relationship with our Savior, Jesus, and in time, we will be lifted up, we'll be boosted, we will be strong enough to be able to recognize right from wrong, and we'll see the
That's
true
right.
value and the true purpose for which we have been designed. And so the painter now is not ourselves or the perpetrator. The painter now becomes Jesus Christ and God, and so we see our true beauty shine forth. This is very powerful. Have you been able to put all this into writing, by the way, for those who might want to say, let me pick up a book and read
Actually,
from Minister Wendy Lewis?
yeah, I am writing several books at the moment, actually. One is called A Woman's Worth, the Jubilee Edition, because I celebrated my Jubilee last year. I have Kingdom Principles for Women. I have Victory in the Valley, which is my own personal testimony, and so much more. Because I believe, you know, we're in the middle of the season. The season has just ended. But for me, simply for me, I don't wait for 16 days of activism. I advocate every single day. Every day, you know, sometimes we get 3-4 calls for the week. Somebody needs our help. And Caribbean Women Honors and Empowerment, that's where we're positioned to assist women who not only experience gender-based violence, but abuse of any magnitude, spiritual abuse, emotional abuse, political abuse, financial, all these different types of abuse.
It has to stop, and we can stop it. Each of us can stop it by our actions or our inaction at the same time. And so we're into the holiday season, and oftentimes, you know, we think that's a peace on earth and goodwill to all man and woman. But oftentimes too, that builds up a construct that says, you know what, I want and you're not giving me, I will dominate you as a consequence. And that in itself can be a precursor to violence. Let's talk a little bit about how at this time of year, when certain expectations, particularly from men, are rising, how the woman manages herself through those rising expectations. What would you suggest?
I would suggest that you stay really focused. Keep yourself close to people who will understand you. And one of the things us women need to stop doing is reacting rather than responding. That's something that we're very famous for. We must have the final say. We must have the final word. We must, you know, go the extra mile to prove ourselves. And at the end of the day, sometimes it's good to just zip it. Observe. Have a conversation. Everything doesn't require a response. Try to keep peace. You know, the good book says as far as possible, be at peace with all men.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that I want women to understand. There will be expectations, not just of men, but of society on a whole. Do you go responding, reacting to everything that passes? No, that's outside of kingdom principles.
I'm so glad you're the one who said it, and not me, but you're absolutely right. As far as possible, be at peace. You're so very true on that particular score. And one saves oneself, one saves one's soul in all of this as well.
That's
so
right.
as we redefine who we truly are and to see that we do have purpose and good value, then we can begin the process and truly begin the process to end this gender-based violence that we're talking about. And this conversation, men, though we're talking about women a lot, it's not just about women. It's about you too.
Agreed.
And you've got to begin to see that your actions are reprehensible. And we can't allow it. And so our people on social media are already talking about you. They're saying, I love and agree with every word that's been spoken here.
Thank you so
It's
much.
right on the screen.
Everybody on the Facebook.
Yeah, it's making a difference. Blessing, so proud of you. A light shine bright. That's how they're describing you as well. All of them are popping up on our screen right there because we want to acknowledge you too. And I really want to thank you. So for anyone who wants to get a hand on any of your writings thus far, how can we do so, by the way?
You can contact me at bookwendynow@gmail.com.
Easy so. BookWendyNow at gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
Simple Simon made the payment. BookWendyNow at gmail.com.
Yes.
Minister Wendy Lewis, thank you so much for joining us and inspiring us this time of the day. And I really want to thank you for your ministry, which is so Poignantly powerful indeed. I wish you the very best and a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. One of the things I want to close with is something that is being said oftentimes by the Honorable Ayanna Webster Roy, who is the Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with the responsibility for gender and child affairs. Gender-based violence is everyone's business.
Well said. Well put. Thank you so much, Minister Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Minister Wendy Lewis, Chief Executive Officer of Calabash Productions, reminding all of us we truly have a value. When you know your worth, everything changes. We'll take a break right here and we'll come back with other worthy people in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 12 and a half minutes now to go to 7 o'clock this Monday morning, the 12th of December 2022. 13 shopping days left. And as you're shopping, by the way, let's help someone in need because CBC Cares, the food drive is on. We encourage you as you do so to purchase and put in the barrel at that particular local establishment some items to help us feed those who are in need. Also here in the CBC, in our lobby, we have a barrel as well and the items are coming through. We thank you handsomely for all the work that you're doing and thank you so much for supporting CBC Cares to help to feed others. But there are other organizations that are doing so as well, and so We Care Barbados has teamed with the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness for No Hunger December, I call it, really. No hunger at all at this time of year. Kimar Safri leads the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness. Kimar, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you for asking. How do you do?
I'm good. Up early, but I'm good.
As all of us are indeed. Let's talk a little bit about this initiative and the partnership with We Care. What is it that you're seeking to do?
Well, in this time, we know that persons are in need of items, especially to prepare that meal for the family. And we know, judging with the economic downturn, the financial challenges that people have, people lost a job, the COVID situation have made it worse for a lot of people. We really wanted to help beyond what we do at the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness to let someone have, or let a family rather have, a good Christmas meal, especially in this trying time. So that is basically the focus of the We Care No Hunger Holiday campaign that we have going.
And you're seeking to be able to bring that kind of relief to at least 200 families or so. So how can we all be a part of it? How does it work? How does it work?
So we're trying to reach the most vulnerable persons, and we've put together some hampers. We're still seeking some donation because we would like to get more than the 200. If we could get 500 hampers, that would be really good. But we're trying to reach those that are most vulnerable. We're working along with some other partners to make sure we cross-reference the list to make sure that persons are not duplicating in the hampers. and we really want to impact those that are most vulnerable. But we want everybody to have that meal, Pierce, and that is the focus. So if you have a hamper or two already, we really would like to put a meal on somebody else's table, and that is the focus. And we've told persons that we're trying to do it in a very orderly process, and we want you to call our office if you're in a position, and then we will take the information and we will tell you when you can pick up from our office.
Okay, so average Joe Barbadian can make donations to the We Care Barbados Alliance for Ending Homelessness, and we can make donations to you by calling you, bringing it to your location, or you can make arrangements to come pick it up. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please. But then we will distribute from our office as well.
And then from your office, you'll make those distributions to those in need. Is there any specific category of items that you're looking for to build this out?
Well, we want items that would set a meal. Normally in hurricane season, we say bring canned items and bring those anything. But this campaign, we want to make sure that we can help with the macaroni pie, help with the some peas, the traditional food stuff the person will want. Because the canned items are not going to really do a big meal, but we are trying to help you get that Christmas spirit up, that feeling of that Barbadians still care, that Barbadians are there to help the brothers and sisters. So that's why we said we want items that can put together a meal. Persons don't normally donate the meat. So if we donate to you, you may have to get that $20 bill and go buy yourself your meat and whatnot. Because we don't normally get donation of meat, to be honest, but persons will give those dry good items. But we're saying bring something that when you go shopping, think about what you're going to put on your table, and let's say okay, let's help someone put that same meal on their table as well.
I want you to paint for us the urgent need. What kinds of situations are you seeing at your association, your Alliance to End Homelessness, that average of us, we don't see, but you see every day the kind of need there is in our society? Paint for us that picture.
The needs are getting greater. I mean, we focus on homelessness, but we are seeing people calling us from all walks just asking for help. Persons are, especially our elderly, especially those single mothers, they're coming forth more than ever, seeking that help, because of the situation that they found themselves in. And so every day is called, we're increasing numbers in terms of homelessness around us. Persons are not seeing this, but it's heart-wrenching. Our shelter is getting full. We're seeing the numbers every night. Persons seeking shelter, and people calling ahead and saying, "Hey, I'm going to be homeless in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What can you do for us?" So the need is real. Persons are out there suffering, and they're looking for help in every way. They want to get back on their feet, and that's the honest part of it too. But in the meantime, they're just desperately asking for help. One of the things too, Pearson, we offer in this time is that on our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday feeding, anyone that is in need of a meal can also come down and get a cooked meal as well for this month. And we're going to help the youth. And it's not going to take away from what we're doing for the homeless, but we're going to put in extra meals in case anyone come during this time for a meal.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, at least you get one hot lunch, and you can be, at least it goes some way. But oftentimes when we think of homelessness, we think of the adult. I want to talk a little bit about the children and those who are quite young, and how this level of homelessness is impacting them. What can you share?
So because we have the shelter for women as well, we're seeing women coming forward with children. And the thing is that they're coming with more than, one, some them more than two, more than three children. And these children have to face whatever the mother is facing at the time, which is challenging because, as I was saying, I can weather any storm, but I don't want my children to be weathering the storm with me. And so we're seeing the children coming, some of them are falling back in their schoolwork, some of them are challenged. And I will let Barbados understand it's not just from what we consider like a low school. We had children in our shelter from the highest schools, high performing children that have done really good and gone to really good schools in the sense of how we categorize school. And they too are falling back because they're going through the rough patches with their mother. And it's just been becoming overwhelming. And it's different from men in the sense that men come by themselves, but when the women come with the children, there's so much that we have to put in place. There's so much that we have to do. And we become like, that second parent with the mother to basically help rally that child through whatever circumstance, because it plays it messes up those children when they have to move from a comfort of a home to a shelter or on the street and actually have to see their mother in the position. I mean, I know it firsthand, but at the end of the day, everyone and every child cannot rally you through it the same way I did in my past. But it's really heart-wrenching to see it, and I would love to see more men step up and play a greater role, and families rather, to play a greater role in these children's life.
Amen, indeed. And an experience like that, homelessness, can break the backbone of anybody's spirit. To start with, the shock of the fact that you no longer have a roof over your head, the shock of the fact that you no longer have a steady flow of food on the table to sustain you as well, that in itself. And then you begin to reassess yourself and wonder your worth. There's a lot more that the society truly can do to be able to uplift these individuals, those who find themselves in unfortunate situations, not of their own doing often, but very much so, even if it is of their own doing, to help them get themselves back on their feet. And so working with the We Care is part of that initiative that you've put on by the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness. What kinds of progress have you been seeing in terms of ending homelessness, as your name implies?
I wish I could give you some good news that we're ending it. On average, when we checked for the year, we would have done well over, close to, I think it was close to about 200 to 300 registered cases. But if we are putting back an average of 20 persons per month in society, we are seeing an average, doubling that is coming for help. And sometimes you wonder if you're actually doing the work, or as you said, if you're ending homelessness. But because it's way more than what we can, handle in some cases, because people are calling, we can gauge in the next month that 20 or 30 people are going to be homeless because they're calling ahead now. And when you put it into the data, you're seeing the numbers saying, oh, well, we did 20 last week, but 20 last month, but 40 this month coming. And that is just who's coming to us. That is not every case that we are finding. So the numbers are increasing on us. We've seen shelter number double in the last couple of months. I would say to a funder that in the month of September, between September and October, we got at least 1 to 2 cases every single day. I mean, literally every single day. And, these numbers are just rapidly going up. We are slim on our resources, but we are just trying to make it work and make sure everybody has a comfortable bed to sleep in. But even though we have a 90-bed facility, we're still seeing numbers. We're still seeing high numbers moving up to that halfway mark in the shelter.
So that's why we definitely all need to care. And so the We Care initiative is on. And again, remind us how we can all be a part of it. What can we do?
You can call our office at 534-2480. You can donate. Again, anything that you are going to put on your table for Christmas, let's consider those that are in need. And if you want to give past the dry goods and give the meat items as well, so we can put it in the hampers, that is fine. We're going to distribute every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And again, you can call our office. You can link us on Facebook. You can link us on Instagram. And we're there, and we're going to be helping persons. Everything's going to be done from our office, packaging and distribution. And we are just going to help somebody or a family, rather, to have a great Christmas, just like how we are going to aim to have one for ourselves as well.
So good. Thank you so much, Kimar Safri of the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness. I wish you and everyone working with you the best for the holidays and success with this initiative as you reach out to end homelessness as best you can, or provide some kind of sustenance to those who definitely need it at this time. It's now on all of us to rise up to help in this effort as well. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Pearson. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back with the news in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is 7 o'clock. The Barbados Police Service says it's been discussing with authorities its response to traffic accidents. The issue has been raised by Deputy Commissioner of Police Erwin Boyce. Mr. Boyce was speaking at the launch of two books, Keeping Barbados Safe, a Children's Highway Code, written by former Senior Police Officer Leon Blades, and Avoiding Collisions in Barbados, jointly written by Blades and Mark Corbin. Deputy Commissioner Boyce says for 2022, they've recorded about 6,086 accidents with 8 fatalities.
I know within the contents of injury, accident, not injury, accident without injury, there's much discussion between ourselves, the ministry, and our principals in relation to how do we treat accidents, because basically accidents consume a lot of police time and create a lot of congestion on the road, and because we are not everywhere at every time, we do have some challenges in meeting our service standard of 30 minutes to get to an accident. Sometimes it takes 2 hours or 3 hours to get to an accident.
The continued transformation of the tourism industry in both the public and private sectors is key as Barbados seeks to remain a competitive destination. Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley reiterated the point during her address at the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association's recent 70th Anniversary Awards. Pointing out the entity has evolved over the last decades, she underscored the importance of changes for the island's main sector.
We have before us a paper now to look at the transformation of the Barbados tourism market in Inc. as a public-private sector body. The Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association is critical to that conversation. Similarly, we've already said that Barbados does not have enough greenfield sites for us to be able to build out the sector into the 21st century and to ensure that it can continue to pay our bills in a credible way. That will mean that we need to discuss how best we can renew our product, how we can ensure that in renewing our product, as we did with the BEST program, that we can green it, that we can have sufficient digitization, that we can train our workers to be the best that they can be, and indeed that we can have the synergies with manufacturing, agriculture, and of course culture.
Noting the difficulties of the last 2 years for the sector, Ms. Motley says cooperation is critical as the country seeks to return to and surpass pre-pandemic performances.
The last few years have been the most challenging. But yes, my friends, we have survived. And while we're not quite back where we want to be, we are on the way there. And I have every confidence that if we continue to work together, hand in hand, that we can set ourselves the objectives to ensure that we surpass where we were and continue to move to higher heights. Why? Because tourism is our business.
There are now 13 days to Christmas, and throughout the city of Bridgetown, it's beginning to look a lot like that time of year as several stores readjust their opening hours. From those who spoke with CBC News, store owners are very optimistic the early trickle of customers will swell into a major flow over the next 2 weeks. Yesterday, some areas like Swan Street were busy with shoppers, while others had just a few. Some of the store owners and managers say they're trying to capitalize on all of the available weekends ahead of Christmas Day, which this year also falls on a Sunday. The owner and managing director of No. 1 Beauty Supplies and Bargain Warehouse says their Sunday openings started just from the first weekend of this month.
So far, so good. It's not like every year, you know, after coverage, but we're hoping for the best. I mean, for the convenience of the customer, we open now, that's, as I tell you, that's the second Sunday, and start picking up and people, shopping, So make it more convenient for the people because they're not working, so they can buy for the Christmas trees, decoration, and household.
At the Impact Boutique in Swan Street, Dion Linton says they're expecting to see more customers this week.
Well, they're not as busy as before, but we try our best in terms of when the customer come in to grasp them and see what they're looking for to make sure that they're satisfied.
At Bridgetown Duty Free, store operations manager for the Broad Street branch, Stacey Wharton, says they've seen a noticeable increase in the number of customers.
Last week would have been our first Sunday, and it was relatively quiet. Most traffic was on the top floor where persons were purchasing in linens and housewares to fix up the homes for Christmas. This Sunday, we're seeing a little bit more traffic, and we're actually having persons on each floor. Perfumery on the first floor where we have the shoes and the menswear, and again on the top floor with linens and housewares and the pages.
Meanwhile, customers say they're finding some bargains already.
Well, if you like it, you get it. That's how it's go. If I like it, I buy it.
It's been going wonderful. Thank you so much.
You find that things are expensive, or you finding bargains? How is it going?
I'm finding bargains because I know how to find a bargain.
Well, that's our news until now. More news at 12 noon here on CBC TV8. Morning Barbados comes back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Spot on 8 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Monday morning. How do you do? How merry truly is your Christmas becoming? We hope you're making the most of it and that you're spending time to do the right thing at this holiday time. Part of which is to help those in need. And that's why at the CBC we have our CBC Cares food drive. We're trying to build up hampers, food hampers, to take to those in need. If you enter our lobby as you're seeing right now on your screen, that's exactly where you're finding it. The barrel is right there just at the door by our security officers right there. The CBC food drive, we ask you to make a donation of non-perishable food items. So when you head out today to your supermarket, to your different spaces, or even if you dig into your cupboard and found that you have things in excess but of good value, and not value, I'm not talking about price, but are still fresh and good, then please give them and donate them to our CBC Cares food drive. We are going to be building out some hampers to take to some of those families in need, and there is nothing too small. So as small or as large as it possibly can, you do so. Make your donation. We have some barrels at some Massey stores, supermarkets, locations across the island. And as you do so, and you're doing your shopping, spare a thought for some of those in need. Those in need are in desperate need. And you know, these have been tough times. We've had a few years that have been really difficult for a lot of people, and some people are still trying to keep their heads above water. And so that's why we want to be able to help them here at the CBC. CBC Cares. We know you care too. And because you care, we're asking you to join with us to care even more, to give to our CBC Cares food drive. We want to thank you, already for your generosity. We want to thank you for your support for this as well. And we really want to thank you today as you made that decision to help for doing so. Really, really thank you indeed. So please donate to the CBC Cares food drive in the barrel here in our lobby at the CBC or at any of the Massey Stores locations. If it's not there, ask about it. And if it's not there, you don't have it today, bring it to the CBC and drop it in the box. We do have barrels out and about, and we really want to thank you sincerely for your support of the CBC Cares food drive. All right, those who continue to care for our young people and care for our ecology, our environment. Ashley Lashley, who we know so well, is already quite an advocate. She has her Hey campaign, but she's also doing the Eco-Active Youth Initiative. And we had her on recently, and we're going to have Spinny on in just a moment. But let's start with you, Ashley Lashley. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados. Season's greetings.
Likewise to you. Thank you. That's like coming here and join me on my background, indeed. So how has it been this season? How has it been going for you so far?
It's been going great. We're currently planning our activities for the year 2023. So I've been looking forward for a fantastic and very fruitful new year. So I'm not complaining. There's the spirit of Christmas time as well, where I get to spend more time.
So how would you describe then the initiative in 2022, the Eco-Active Youth Initiative? How would you describe it?
Well, I would describe it based upon it was a no-brainer activity. When after the Barbados Youth Climate Action Summit and Expo, when we decided to partner with Spinny on this program to bring about that national consciousness to primary school students about climate change and get it active, you know, merging both climate change with non-communicable diseases and healthy lifestyle living. So the overall activity that took place last Wednesday, it was an overall success. Thanks to the sponsors who came on board, the partners, the school students, the teachers, and everyone. And I'm honestly looking forward to 2023 because that project, well, the finale, which concluded in on Wednesday, that was just the pilot program where we visited 20 schools and then ended with the finale. But next year, we're looking at rolling out the full initiative across all primary schools across Barbados.
How do you measure, not just acceptance, but how do you measure progress in this initiative?
Well, for us, what we measure our progress and success based upon the educational component and the awareness level. So when we go into the schools and we ask students basic questions on healthy lifestyle living, climate change, the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, and then where we're then able to educate and hear the responses of the students. And then the finale component, that's why the finale component took place on December 7th, so that then we could then measure if the students really took away anything from our overall visit. But one thing I must highlight is when we first organized the this Eco-Active Youth Program, what we wanted to do, Pearson, to also assist with the measuring of our success is to conduct different research and data across the schools to ask students what do they think climate change is, do they think more is being done, how do they think climate change is going to affect their lives in the future. But that was one of the components of the Eco-Active Youth Program that we didn't get to carry out in full due to the previous, I don't even know what to call it with the Ministry of Education, but we're hoping for the new year that we can continue this research amongst our school students across Barbados to really analyze their understanding of their role in taking action for the environment, their role in creating a healthy lifestyle, and what more they think needs to be done in Barbados as it relates to climate change, get it active, and get it active as well. So there was a research component attached, and I think that is one of the components in which my team and I really hope that we could have gotten more support on that research and data element of the project.
To come. So it's noted to come. But I love the fact that, you know, children don't ever sit still. And so you've been able to find a way to marry that energy for activity with the
Yeah.
whole question of paying attention to our ecology and our environment. And so for those who perhaps don't quite understand yet what the Eco-Active Youth Initiative has been, what have you been doing all those weeks across our schools, tell us what you've been doing so we can see how it's been playing out.
Yeah. So essentially, the Eco-Active Youth Initiative started in September.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we did a little test run, to be honest, at the Boxall Primary School in June, Spinney and I, where we went in, where we started there, and we just said, let's test to see if this overall project is going to work. So what happens when we go into these primary schools? We first, Spinney gets the kids warm up in some activities, physical activities. Then the team at the Ashley Foundation, we then come in and talk to the students about what is climate change, the different greenhouse gases we have or that we've been seeing, the changes in which we have been seeing to the environment, not only in Barbados but globally, their role in taking action for the environment. And then we go into the health component, asking them questions like what do they think being healthy is, ways in which we can create a healthy lifestyle. And then we get some different suggestions from these students, and then Spinney comes in to get them active in a warm-up, and that's essentially what the overall Eco-Active Youth program over the last 12 weeks have entailed.
But we were trying to work that him out technically, so as soon as we get that sorted out, we'll bring him in. So here it is, you've been going across our schools and you've been with your pilot on this. Have you had a chance yet to sit for just a moment to take a deep breath and then do your post-mortem? And then if you haven't had the post-mortem yet?
No, we have not.
All right. So because I'm curious, good, because I'm curious to find out what other people's thoughts were on the initiative. From where I sit, it sounds like a really good initiative. From what I saw the last time that you were on, it looked as though it was a really great initiative as well. The age ranges that you've been able to attract from this, or are you targeting a specific age range, or did you encompass every school child of any age?
Well, we were mostly targeting primary school students, so the program targeted students ages 4 to 11 years of age. And what was most funny enough, I'm happy that you asked that question, because even at the finale initiative, like after the school students came up to me and told me how much they enjoy the activity and they're looking forward to next year's one. And more schools are contacting us for next year, asking for the overall program to be started at their school and for us to visit their school for next year. So the momentum on the overall program is great. And what I think most persons love about it is that it looks at climate change and still the non-communicable diseases at the same time. So we're merging both climate and health together and bringing that awareness to our primary school students. And the reality is, Pearson, is that our primary school students, when we go into the schools, we're amazed at the knowledge and understanding that these students have on these topics. And that is where Spinney comes in. And we got a jingle done by Lead Pipe as well. I honestly believe that we need to make the topic of climate change, non-communicable diseases, health, socially relatable to our young students, our children in particular, so that they can become more aware of their role in taking action on these various issues that we're facing. So everyone loves these jingles so far. I'll say it again: reduce, reuse, recycle, Eco-Active Youth. So they love that part, and the students really resonate well to that overall jingle that we got done from Lead Pipe.
You said that's where Spinney comes in. So Spinney comes in now. Spinney, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Morning, Ashley. Morning, Barbados.
Was it a no-brainer for you to be involved, or did it take some thought to say, you know what, all right, I'll do it, or was it simply a no-brainer?
Oh, when I did the climate action with Ashley, the summit, and I did my research and I realized that Ashley and I have the same audience. Spinney has 95% females. Then I was already doing a session called Spinney with the Kiddies. So then I was like, Ash, you know what? Because I had already went into a couple of schools already on my own, and I was like, Ash, this would be the perfect opportunity for us to come together and push the two things that we believe in. You can speak on climate change. I could push on healthy lifestyles, being active, because for me, especially coming out to the pandemic and everyone just settled to be home, even the adults, it like you don't really want to leave home just like that because we got accustomed to being in the house for so long. It was time to get everyone active and moving again. So that's how the partnership developed. Like I told Ashley, and she was on board one time.
What did you take away from this, Spinny? What did you, from this whole exercise, the pilot phase is now over. So what did Spinny take away from that?
One thing I take away is like we underestimate children in Barbados. We really need to stop doing that. It's never too early to start pushing awareness and dealing with the knowledge as they say. Children really taking everything like around the ages of 7, from 1 to 7. As soon as they're born, they're taking everything. So if we get this knowledge to them at this young age, don't let us wait till, oh man, we can just go to secondary school children because the primary school children ain't gonna understand the climate change topic and go over their head. I want to say that is not true. I want to say that is not true. And at the finale, children who didn't know certain things, hand was up and disappointed because they didn't get to go on stage to show off and let the world know, I know about reduce, reuse, recycle, and those other topics.
Wow. Are you excited to be engaged in the next series?
I'm ready to start from tomorrow.
Ashley, he's ready to start from tomorrow.
I miss the children already. I miss the children already. Yeah, I miss the children already. I wake up this morning and I was like, what school I go to? And I was like, wait.
No schools.
Ashley, when we talking about like all the planning, all the little planning tell me next week, and I did it. I'm ready to go again.
Ashley, you have somebody who's ready and rearing to go, Ash.
I mean, after the program, Spinny was constantly messaging me, Ashley, you ready for 2023? Are you ready to get moving, to get cracking? I like, Spinny, we got some time. We need to relax and rest. But Spinny is the team member that has the most energy that keeps us going, Pearson.
This is great. So now you know that it is on. You have the support of Spinny. He can't wait to come to do his Spinny with the kiddies again and to teach them more about recycle, reuse, and what's the other R? Reduce. And so that initiative is going. When do you hope to start it again, though, Ashley? Realistically, when do you think you will want to start it again? As soon as the school term starts?
Well, no, we're starting from February of next year.
Okay.
We're running it at the full year program. So it's going from February of 2023 straight down to December. We're ending with another finale in December as well.
And are you going to broaden it to encompass, as you said, all schools, secondary and so?
No, we're only going to focus on primary school. Yes.
Okay, because that's where you're going to start at the foundation indeed. There's a lot that we can learn from this initiative, the Eco-Active initiative we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have a child at primary school and the initiative is going to be launched at every primary school across the island from 2023, encourage them to be a part of it. Encourage them to get involved. Don't let them sit on the sidelines and watch the others have some fun with Spinny and learn more about the ecology and our environment. Let every single child get involved because climate change impacts on all of us, and the change rests in all of us indeed, the ability to make that change indeed. So, Ashley Lashley and Spinny, I want to thank both of you for joining me yet again this morning. I can't wait myself now for February. I hope that God spare life that we can be a part of the initiative here on Morning Barbados as well, and we want to fully endorse you the initiative. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks you, Pearson.
You're welcome. You're welcome indeed. Ashley Lashley of the Ashley Lashley Foundation and Spinny of Spinny fame. And certainly we want to encourage as many of your children when they come to your school to get involved and become an eco-active young person. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Both the Ashley Lashley Foundation and Spinny believe it is extremely important for us to tackle and wrestle these public enemies to the ground in a socially relatable manner. So since the inception of this initiative, our teams have visited 21 schools in a 12-week period across our island Barbados, reaching over 4,000 school students, discussing climate change, how we can protect our environment, and stay active at the same time. I always say, in order to have healthy people, you must first have a healthy planet. Don't you agree?
It means that when you're at home and you see the adults in the household dropping paper and refuge all over the place, that you must speak to that. When you go to school, you must impact on your fellow classmates and your friends to ensure that the school environment is clean. And if you can do that, then you will go a long way in helping us to do and to solve the problems that we are creating by littering all over this country and by extension the world. Like I said to you, it is us, the adults, that have caused this, and it is your future that we're impacting, and I'm asking you to be involved in the process in making sure that you have the type of future that you want in this island.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Think before you click. Agents, think before you click. Don't forget now. Before you spread wrong information, think before you click. Just stop and think. Think before you click. BBS. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click. When friends send news to your phone, check the source or leave it alone. Cause people creating fake news to deceive you and confuse. Alright yo, accident broadcast on WhatsApp. Check yourself, don't forward that. Have respect for the victim's family. You would not share family like that. Think before you click. Agents, think before you click. Don't forget now. Before you spread wrong information, think before you click. Just stop and think before you click. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
28 minutes now after 7 o'clock on this Monday morning, we turn our attention now to film. You might have heard of the Toronto International Film Festival. They call it TIFF. Going to tell you this morning about SIFF, the Caribbean International Film Festival. Joining me now to talk about it is a woman who is a filmmaker, a film programmer, founder of the Caribbean Pop-Up Cinema, and now founder of the Caribbean International Film Festival, Denise Blackman. Good morning to you, Denise.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbados. Good to be with you again, Pearson.
Good to see you again, too. Are you here or are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Good. She's in Barbados this time.
Yes.
Good, good.
I'm very impressed and surprised by your knowledge of TIFF, Pearson.
Yes. Why? I watch Canadian TV too.
Yes, you know about your film festivals, and TIFF is important because Toronto International Film Festival, they do have a lot of films. And so it's off the back of that and other Caribbean film festivals around the world that I decided that, you know, there was one needed in the UK. There's one in Canada, there's one in the US, but there was none in the UK. So that was the start of what became Caribbean Interfest.
So how did it go? How did the first iteration of the Caribbean International Film Festival go?
It went really well. Yeah, last time that I spoke to you, I was in the planning stages for it, I believe. It went extremely well. That came off September, mid-September to late September in Birmingham, UK.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very pleased with the support that we had from it. From the funders, we were supported by Film Hub Midlands with through funds from the UK National Lottery. And we had a range of filmmakers who wanted to be part of it and sent their films. So we have filmmakers from all around the world, Caribbean filmmakers, because this is all about Caribbean films
Mm-hmm.
and Caribbean stories. So of course, we got the Trinidad, Jamaica, Barbados filmmakers. We had those who were living abroad as well, who had traveled, who migrated to the US, Canada, UK. But then we also had some further flung filmmakers. So when we think about the Caribbean, we also have to think about the Dutch Caribbean and French speaking Caribbean, the Spanish speaking Caribbean. So we had a range of submissions as well from Dominican Republic and Martinique, Guadeloupe, Curacao. So we had a range of filmmakers who wanted to take part, and they did. And so in the end, we selected 25 of the very, very best Caribbean films that we had, and we got to show the West Midlands in the UK. So in Birmingham, in Coventry, and in Solihull. And we had a really good feedback from it. So I'm very pleased about how it went and how both the filmmakers and the audiences really took it on board and embraced this very new festival.
Now, it's a new festival. From what we see from TIFF, for instance, we see the red carpet, we see the stars, people get to see the first screening of films and the like. Is that part of the dream that you have for the Caribbean International Film Festival as well?
Beyond all, whatever, event related, dreams I have, what I really hope for this is for it to be a festival that is truly embraced by Caribbean creatives and by Caribbean people related to the Caribbean within the diaspora. So yeah, red carpet would be nice. Sold out, 1,000-seater cinemas would be nice. But what I really want, is something that feels grassroots led. It feels Caribbean led, and it feels like if it truly represents the creative offering that the Caribbean has. So definitely next year I plan to go bigger and better. Although this year was very pleased by the turnout. We did have, a good following online and in person, and a lot of interest that we drummed up. So I'm pleased about where we are right now. But yes, definitely the dream is to get bigger and to have even more buy-in from the Caribbean community.
So the Caribbean International Film Festival is a wonderful platform for a lot of our film creatives to be able to get their work out, to be seen, to be acknowledged, and hopefully in time to be taken up by larger cinemas. And a lot of Barbadians today are actually creating film. How does one get one's work into the Caribbean International Film Festival?
Pearson, it is so easy. Literally, all you have to do is log on to the platform when the time comes around for submissions. And I usually use Film Freeway, which is the platform of choice for international film festivals. And but all the information is on the website caribbeancinema.org. And when it's time for the call for submissions, I post everything there, and you literally just have to upload your information, your film, a link for your film for it to be watched. And if your film is good and ready to be screened, then all you have to do is wait for your congratulations email.
You've been accepted.
So it is quite easy, and of course, we have our social media that you could reach out to and ask any questions. We're on Instagram at Caribbean Pop-Up Cinema, on Twitter as Caribbean Up. We have Facebook, Caribbean Pop-Up Cinema as well. And then we have the website, caribbeancinema.org.
Are you open to any film work, or do you have certain select categories of film work that you would accept into what you do?
Because Caribbean films, in the grand scale of things, they're all quite niche, and they have a lot of people producing work. Not all of them are screen ready or ready to be presented into festivals. So I didn't want to add any additional restrictions on top of that. So right now, all films that are submitted could be broken down into fiction and nonfiction, and short and feature-length film. So chances are high that if you made a film, it will fit into one of those categories. So I'm just open to any work that filmmakers are proud of that they think that world should see. No restrictions other than that.
What is your dream for the Caribbean film industry?
That's a very good question. My dream, and I should say is one that I think is already coming to pass, is to see the Caribbean step into its own as a voice for storytelling. We have a big tradition of storytelling in the Caribbean, oral storytelling through dance, and we, in places like Jamaica and Trinidad, we've seen how they've re-embraced their screen culture as well. There are a lot of classic Caribbean films coming out of Jamaica, for example. You have The Harder They Come, we have Rockers, and a number of other good ones. So we know that we could do it, but in terms of our appetite for our own entertainment, we generally tend to look outside and might not think immediately about producing our own work or investing in work or indulging, having an appetite for our own Caribbean filmmakers. So I would like to see us really embrace that. I would like to see avenues for us to watch our own films. We have a few platforms already where you can watch Caribbean films from around the Caribbean. I would like that to be commonplace as Netflix. For people, international distributors or sales agents, to look at the Caribbean as a place where you can really get well-made, high-quality content. Because I know that there is a will amongst Caribbean filmmakers to improve on their work and to get their work seen. I know there are a number of institutions in place to help make that happen, like the NCF and the Film Office here. So if it could be utilized more, then, I think the Caribbean can be a force to be reckoned with for storytelling abilities.
You are well poised to be that catalyst for that change, to see what we want to see, to be who we have to be, to tell our stories, to use our language and not be ashamed of our own image as well. And that's why the Caribbean International Film Festival is so critical to its success. We really want to give you full support, Denise Blackman, indeed. I wish you the very best with everything that you're planning out, you're continuing to create, and the opportunities you're continuing to give to Barbadians and Caribbean people all over the world to be able to come together in one space and give our loudest roar to say, hey, we're here, read our story, hear our message. I love it. Thank you so much, Denise, for joining us this morning, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Pearson. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you too and the entire Mornin Barbados team.
All right. Thank you so much indeed. Denise Blackman, who is a film producer, filmmaker. She is the founder of the Pop-Up Cinemas, the Caribbean Pop-Up Cinema in the UK. She's also the founder of the Caribbean International Film Festival. That is soon going to be quite large and, as we say, in charge. So look out for that. Keep your ears to the ground. We'll bring you more details as we get to know more about the upcoming changes and what's next, indeed. Mornin Barbados takes a break right here. When we come back, fun down the road. Stay with us in just a moment. We're back.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Think before you click. Agents, think before you click. Don't forget now. Before you spread wrong information, think before you click. Just stop and think. Think before you click. BBS. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click. When friends send news to your phone, check the source or leave it alone. Cause people creating fake news to deceive you and confuse. Alright now, accident broadcast on WhatsApp. Check yourself, don't forward that. Have respect for the victim's family. You would not share family like that. Think before you click. Agents, think before you click. Don't forget now. Can't confirm the source of the information. Think before you click.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
What you gonna give me for Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Let me have a happy day. Why you got to give me for Christmas? I need something from you.
20 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. I hope somebody answers by singing. That would be great, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be fantastic indeed? So we're going to give someone a call right now. If you've entered our competition, we're going to give you a call. So if we call you, please answer your phone. Answer your phone if you can by singing that song made very, very popular, written by Satch Moore. As a matter of fact, what are you going to give me for Christmas? Get ready for the calls. We're going to be calling you. Of course, we want to say a big thank you to all of our supporters in this. You've made Christmas merrier for quite a few people as well. So someone today is winning something I think that's going to be absolutely delicious. So let's see if we get someone on the phone and let's give them a call. And hopefully you'll answer your phone when you hear it ring, wouldn't you? Please do. And if you do, you win something today. Let it come to me. Let it come to me. Answer your phone.
I'm sorry, but...
Left home already, perhaps. Let's see who else we can get. Now, listen. Remember to give us a number by which you are accessible all times of day, anywhere. So it doesn't matter. So give us one of those numbers. And we make sure that if it's a cell phone, switched on, powered up, topped up. Let's see.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Corlita.
Hi, Carlita. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear, Carlita. You finished your Christmas shopping?
Not yet.
So what are you waiting for, Carlita?
Well, this is my birthday week, so I'm just taking it easy.
What do you mean this is your birthday week? When is your birthday?
On Wednesday.
Your birthday is coming up on Wednesday.
It's
Congratulations.
Wednesday the 14th. Thank you.
Oh, wow. You're just before Christmas Day. Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
I know the voice from CBC, but I can't remember your name.
And if you know it's a voice from CBC, why did you not answer your phone correctly, Carlita?
What you gonna give me for Christmas? No, but I did.
Don't come with that now, Carlita. I had a lovely conversation with you.
You shouldn't do that, no,
So?
because no.
Go ahead. No, Carlita, not because...
That's why I answered my cell phone, because I was here dealing with my 96-year-old mother, and yeah, my mom is 96, so I just ran and answered the phone. That's why I saw I had a missed call on my phone.
Your hands
and then
are full.
The other phone rang, I just answered it.
No,
but it's okay, that's my fault.
All right, good. Thank you very much for understanding, Carlita. But happy birthday in advance, okay?
Thank you.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I feel like such a grouch. Oh dear. She was busy. She's managing her mother. And isn't that lovely? That even at this stage, she's looking after her mother. Turn it around. I love that. So for all of you children, when your parents get older and they can no longer help themselves, it is upon us to be able to look after them. They've done it for us. Let's return the good favor in their years at that stage. So let's see if we get another one on the line. Remember, sing the song for me when you answer the phone. Sing it. I want to hear you sing it, as Carlita attempted, but she was too slow. So Fat Fingers is dialing for me right now. Let's see who Fat Fingers calls right now. And if it is you, answer with the song. Can you do that? I don't care if you're in tune or not. It doesn't matter. I just want to hear you sing. So who's going to answer their phone now? Let's see. Remember, you've entered the competition. It behooves you to answer your phone. Let's see if you do. Come on. Answer your phone. Answer your phone. Answer your phone.
I'm sorry.
I can hear my production crew saying, she's on. Listen, answer your phone. We're calling you. And when we're calling you, we love very much for you to answer your phone. Or are you... Why don't you all answer phones? I answer my phone all the time when I can. Of course. Let's see if this person answers the phone. If you answer the phone with the song. Sing it.
What you gonna give me for Christmas?
Hello?
What you gonna give me for Christmas?
That's a question or that's a statement?
That's a statement. That's a question.
Sing the song for me.
Sing. What
Sing
you gonna
that
give
song.
me for Christmas? Give me anything you could spare. That's what you mean?
Keep going, yeah.
Huh?
Yes, yes. Sing the song some more, please.
I can't know. I don't know if I can say
You
anymore.
don't know the rest of the
that's
words.
good.
Okay. Your name is Gwen, isn't it?
Gwen Thornhill.
Yes, Gwen. Is it short for Gwendolyn or is it
Yeah,
just
it's short
Gwen?
for Gwendoline. It's short for Gwendoline.
So why you didn't put out your whole name, Gwendolyn Thornhill?
My CBC bill comes in GWEN.
So you're sticking with what your CBC bill says?
Yeah, I ain't getting so much time to call such a long name. That's 3 syllables.
Gwendolyn. Too long.
Gwendoline, not Lynn.
Gwendoline.
Yes,
All right.
I have one single name. I don't have a middle name. Cause that
Are you
is
serious?
No, I don't.
And did you ever ask your mother why not?
I don't know, but that's the name I had from the time I was a child.
Yeah, but you never asked how come.
DOLENE.
I got you. So why didn't you ask your mother how come you did not get a second name?
Someone wanted me to name Serlene, and I think they thought it was too much, and that was it.
They wanted to call you Cyriline.
Well, yeah, but when they got to write on a child, an infant writing on the paper at school, we're going to write Gwendolyn Serlene. No, it's a long thing, too.
You're a beer sport. I like you. I like you. What parish are you in?
I live in 2nd Avenue, Orleans, Bushell. Who am I speaking to, May I ask?
Wait. You don't know who you're talking to?
I want to know if this is
What?
it is not Admiral. Is that child that dressed so nice that his brother plays the organ?
Gwendoline?
Yes, please.
Gwendoline?
Yes, please.
First of all, before I answer your question, identify who I am, right?
Yeah.
Why did you answer the phone the way you did?
Because I sent in the thing since about 2 weeks ago and y'all won't call me.
But Gwendoline?
Yes, please.
Is this the first time you've ever answered your phone with what you're going to give me for Christmas?
No, I've been answering every time somebody call and saying, some people laugh and say, I know all that kind of thing, tell me. Then some say, well, you sending that thing? I say, yes, I did.
I like you so bad, girl. Oh, listen, you're talking to Pearson Bowen here from CBC.
You point me, you're the person I mean.
But all you can remember is he's the one with the brother who plays the organ, right?
Your brother plays the organ at St. Peter, it is, I think. I hear Norma says all the time.
You can remember him, but you can't remember me. Shame on you, Gwen.
Yeah, I remember about him. I'm seeing you now in a cream shirt.
Oh, you remember?
Yes.
Yeah, and his name is Julian, by the way. Julian is his name.
Right.
Yes. Just like mine is Pearson, his is Julian.
Look,
Gwen Thornhill?
79 years, so I could forget some things, please.
Me too, well, I'm less than that, so I understand.
I know you're less than that. I know.
All right, Gwen. You've done so well, Gwen. You've been so much fun. What are you doing to get ready for Christmas?
Say again?
What are you doing to prepare for Christmas?
What I'm doing for Christmas?
Yes.
I'm doing all the things that is do I want to bake great cake today or tomorrow if my husband bring the pans for me. That's one of the things I'm doing.
If your husband does what?
Bring the pans in for me. I keep them outside in something.
Oh, so he's to bring them in so you can do your great cake?
Yes.
So would you have set up the fruits months ago?
Yeah, weeks ago, not months.
Oh, just weeks ago, no problem. Do you do a really good great cake?
Say again?
Do you do a really good great cake?
I do. I was so.
Wow, moist and nice. Do you do a lot of rum or no rum at all?
A lot of rum because I deal with some people that like a lot of rum. My old scholars, the modern high school old scholars. I have a particular person there. I have to keep it soaked for him until he collects it.
Gwen, listen. Gwen, you have our production crew cracking up this morning. You are so much fun. So
You know,
you
my
have some
birthday
folks.
was yesterday, right? So you gave me something good.
You serious?
I was 79 years old yesterday, 11th of December.
Congratulations,
Thank
Gwen.
you so much. Thank you so much.
But you know you missed out on being a Capricorn.
Say again?
You missed out on being a Capricorn, Gwen.
No, I'm Sagittarius.
I know, Kadir.
Right, I have Capricorn people. I have twin daughters with Capricorn and the daughter-in-law and the grandchild.
Wow, the twin daughters are born when? When is their birthday?
My birthday?
No,
Twin
the
daughters,
twin.
23rd
23rd
of December.
Oh, I have a sister who's born on the 23rd of January. I thought that's where you were going.
No, they're 23rd of December. My daughter-in-law and my granddaughter are the 22nd of December.
So you have a 23rd of December. I have a 25th of December. That's my brother.
Christmas
and you have a 20... Pardon me?
Christmas there?
Yes.
Oh, so
yes, Gwen. Sweet, no? And you have a 27th. Julian is 22nd, and Julian is born on the 29th of December.
Oh, you got it's full Capricorn.
Me too.
Like a granddaughter I have that's the 19th of January.
And the 18th.
Oh, there.
Gwen. Listen, there are too many similarities between you and me, eh?
Man, that's the real thing it is.
You are so sweet, Gwen, for real, Gwen Thornhill. Gwen, stay on the line. But no, you don't have to stay on the line, Gwen. Someone from our marketing department, let me tell you what you've won.
Yes.
Oh, Gwen, you sure you want to do the great cake? Because I can give you one great cake, compliments of Purity Bakeries.
Yes.
You still baking your great cake, all right. You will also get something, compliments of Cravings by Purity. So some vouchers are going to come to you, Gwen.
Yes,
Someone from our marketing department will call you and make arrangements for you to collect your vouchers, all right?
Thanks very much.
Gwen Thornhill, happy belated birthday greetings to you. All the best for Christmas, and we wish you the very best.
And you have a good day.
You too, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Gwen Thornhill is a mouthful, a handful too. She was so much fun, but congratulations to her. She gave you an idea as to what to do. She says she's been answering her phone the same way every day, doesn't matter who calls, and it cracks a joke. Little fun they have indeed. All right, folks, thank you so very much to Gwen. That's our winner for today. What we shall do here is take a break, and we'll come back with some letters for you to unscramble. So stand by for more fun in just a moment.
What you gonna give me for Christmas? Give me anything you can.
Merry Christmas.
Let me have a happy day.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Think before you click. Pigeons, think before you click. Don't forget now. Before you spread wrong information, think before you click. Just stop and think. Think before you click. BBS. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click. When friends send news to your phone, check the source or leave it alone. Cause people creating fake news to deceive you and confuse. Alright yo, accident broadcast on WhatsApp. Check yourself, don't forward that. Have respect for the victim's family. You would not share family like that. Think before you click. Pigeons, think before you click. Don't forget now. Before you spread wrong information, think before you click. Just stop and think. Think before you click. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 5 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock, so you have less than 5 minutes to unscramble for me a word. You ready for this, everybody? Give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Come on, be quick about it. Let's give them the word, and let's see if you can quickly unscramble this word. And if you don't, I have a clue. So get ready to call 228-5562 or 228-5563. Look at this word quickly, and unscramble the letters. Tell me the word you make when you unscramble these letters on your screen at the moment. You have less than 5 minutes, so come on. 228-5562 or 228-5563 are the numbers to call to unscramble the letters to this word. It is a word you know, trust me, you know it. And once you know it, I want you to be able to tell me what it is. 228-5562, 228-5563. Good morning, hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, what's the word?
Bethlehem.
Sing the song.
Sing the song?
You don't know there's a song called Bethlehem? Serious? You have never heard the song by the Sand Pebbles called Bethlehem?
Yeah, but I'm so nervous now, I don't even remember.
Don't be nervous, girl. You gotta join the youth service when you're nervous. Listen, so you don't know Bethlehem?
No, really can't remember.
No, you don't know Bethlehem. Have you ever been to Bethlehem?
No, please.
Do you know this? Do you know who was born in Bethlehem?
I know the name of the song.
Do you know who was born in Bethlehem?
Yes.
Who? Who? St. Peter? Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Are you sure?
Very much so.
What makes you so certain?
Pardon?
What makes you so sure?
The Bible.
You saw it in the Bible, or you heard about it in the Bible?
No, I know it's in the Bible.
But have you seen it in the Bible for yourself? That's a yes or no. You don't read your Bible?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
When was the last time you read your Bible?
Saturday.
What happened to Sunday and today?
You know, every day don't be the same.
But every day ought to be the same because the Bible gives you direction.
Yes, it should be. But the day hasn't gone yet.
Did you go to church yesterday?
No, I didn't.
What happened? You don't go to church too often nowadays. You don't get out.
I used to go to church every Saturday.
Oh, you're a Saturday girl. Oh, you're Seventh-day Adventist. Okay. I got you now. Which one do you go to?
St. John.
You don't miss shopping on a Saturday?
No.
But stores are closed on a Sunday.
Pardon?
But the stores are closed on Sundays. So when do you get your
you have from Monday to Thursday to do your shopping.
Yeah, because you can't do a thing Friday, can you?
I'm not hearing you clearly.
That's all right. Listen, I am not teasing you anymore. Lord, forgive me. Father, forgive me. I have sinned. Yes, I'm sorry for torturing you, but thank you so much for playing along with us. It is indeed Bethlehem. We wish you the merriest of Christmas, all right?
Okay, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, too. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye now. So don't forget, folks, today CBC Cares. Remember, you head off to any of our Massey Supermarket Warrens. This is where it's going to be, Massey Supermarket Warrens. CBC Cares, the barrel is there today. Massey Supermarket Warrens, there today. Drop in some dry goods, drop in some food, some tinned items. Let's do this today and tomorrow. As we say, Beijing, today and tomorrow. So today and tomorrow at Massey Warrens here at the CBC as well. So please, your support is absolutely critical. We do look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thanks to my producer Alicia Asgrant, Technical Director Rural Ford, Sound Engineer Michael Sobers, Master Control Tamisha Green, and Pearson Boyne. For each of them, to all of you, we say thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you.